Whoa, humans, we need to talk. I am a rabbit. When I see danger, my brain tells me one thing: run and hide. But you humans, you are a massive puzzle. I look at a green field and think about lunch. You look at it and sometimes think about drawing borders and fighting over them. It makes absolutely no sense to a peaceful rabbit. I mean, why build bombs when you can grow carrots? War brings death, trauma, and destroyed cities. Everyone agrees it is terrible. But if we're completely honest, some people are deeply attracted to it. Some people secretly like war. Why? Are they just evil? No, the truth is hidden deep inside human psychology. Today, from this muddy trench, I'm going to explain the psychology of people who like war. Evolutionary roots, the tribal mind. For most of human history, you survived only if your small group, your tribe, was strong. A scientist named Irenaeus Ibels-Ibelsfeld argued that humans developed something called coalitional aggression. This means you naturally know how to team up with your group to use force against another group. In the past, the tribes that fought well got more food, land, and protection. Because of this, your brain has a biological wiring called in-group loyalty and out-group hostility. The exact same brain chemicals that make you deeply love your family also trigger automatic suspicion against strangers. It creates an us versus them mindset. This is the ultimate survival trick. When a soldier sacrifices his life for a flag, modern society might call it crazy, but evolutionarily, it showed total commitment to the tribe, making sure the group's genes survived. In the harsh ancestral wild, a tribe of pure pacifists would simply have been wiped out by a more aggressive neighbor, so evolution literally rewarded the fighters. The psychological high, war as a peak experience. For many people, the attraction to war is not about politics. It's about the intense feeling it gives them. Psychologist Steve Taylor notes that war forces you to be extreme. The constant presence of death takes away all your boring, everyday worries. It makes you feel incredibly alive, alert, and awake. Soldiers call this a combat high. Also, people with a sensation-seeking personality are naturally drawn to this. They crave extreme thrills. The massive surges of adrenaline and dopamine they get from combat simply cannot be matched by any normal civilian job. When these adrenaline-fueled soldiers return home, going to the grocery store or sitting in a traffic jam feels completely numb. They secretly crave that ultimate emotional rush again. The famous philosopher William James said that war brings out a heroic energy that modern comfortable societies lack. He warned that unless we find a moral equivalent, a peaceful way to use this intense energy, people will always be drawn back to the battlefield. The quest for belonging, the tribe effect. In his famous book, Tribe, author Sebastian Junger explains that modern society is deeply isolating. Think about your modern cities. You are surrounded by millions of people, yet you sit alone in traffic or isolated in small apartments staring at glowing screens. You might have thousands of followers on social media, but no one to actually trust with your life. You have smartphones, but you feel alone. War is the opposite. War forces you to escape alienation. It puts you in a small group where your survival depends entirely on the person next to you. You eat together, sleep together, and survive together. It gives you an unmistakable shared purpose. For people suffering from an existential vacuum or depression, the military mission is a powerful cure. This leads to the paradox of reintegration. When veterans come home, they often miss the war. They don't miss the killing, they miss the deep bond, the brotherhood, and the shared humanity they felt when facing danger. They long for the front lines because they miss their tribe. Personality traits and pathocracy. But wait, not everyone goes to war for brotherhood. We have to talk about the dark personalities. Some profiles actually glorify conflict. Authoritarianism, these people love strict hierarchy, obedience, and using force to dominate anyone they think is inferior. The dark triad, this includes narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. These individuals use war for personal power, glory, and to satisfy their own egos. Everyday sadism. Recent studies show that some people actually get a dark, secret satisfaction from watching an enemy suffer. When a small group of these mentally disordered people takes control of a government, it is called a pathocracy. They use their power to drag normal, healthy citizens into unnecessary and bloody wars. They sit in safe, comfortable offices, moving armies like chess pieces, while normal people pay the ultimate price. It's a tragic manipulation of human loyalty. Cognitive biases and cultural priming. Finally, how do leaders make normal people support war? They use brain tricks. First, demonization and dehumanization. To make killing okay, they strip the enemy of their humanity. They call them monsters or subhumans. This bypasses your natural human empathy. Second, the hero's journey. Since you were a baby, your culture primed you. Movies and books glorify the warrior and promise eternal glory. This beautiful story hides the ugly, grim reality of the battlefield. Third, simplified thinking. In times of stress, the human brain hates complexity. War gives you black and white answers. We are good, they are bad. This reduction of complexity is psychologically very comforting in an uncertain world. You don't have to think hard, you just have to follow orders. And sadly, human brains love taking the easy way out. So, my human friends, the psychology of people who like war is not just a single flaw. It's a complex mix of your deepest needs. It's the dark side of your greatest strengths, your loyalty, your search for meaning, and your drive for excellence. As the journalist Chris Hedges famously said, war is a force that gives us meaning. Understanding this attraction doesn't mean we should support war, but we must understand it to fix it. As long as modern life fails to give you the belonging, purpose, and intensity that the tribe once gave you, the siren song of war will keep calling. To stop war, you humans must find peaceful, constructive, and equally challenging ways to satisfy these deep psychological needs. What is that moral equivalent? It could be fighting a global disease, exploring deep space, or working together to save this beautiful planet. You need a massive, shared mission that doesn't involve dropping bombs. All right, I think it's safe now. I'm going back to my carrots. Take care of each other, humans.